141. The Phoenix Suns had a hard time tonight in the beginning, but they came back down 21 to push it to overtime. An insane game by the Suns, something that you haven't seen in a while this whole season, except for last game. So what is this? Are the Suns actually a team that's just kind of letting teams take advantage of them in the beginning? Are they letting teams just kind of just destroy them? Maybe Kevin Durant and Devin Booker come back in the fourth quarter and take things over? Is that what we're kind of get to? I just feel like this Suns team right now is unpredictable in ways. A lot of excitement, I think, right now in Phoenix, right? Let's start the show.
Hey, you're listening to the Suns Jam Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.
149 to 141. I am in Suns Geek mode right now, kind of up the chin. Kind of see my double chin right here. Not a really good look. Not really the kind of the look you want when taking pictures or recording a video live for everyone to see. The thousands of people that watch us live, millions sometimes, who knows. But the Phoenix Suns tonight is exciting. I think this game, in the end, with Devin Booker kind of taking over, that was fun because I don't think we've seen that in a long time. I think the Suns got that energy back last game with Colin Gillespie ending the game in the fourth quarter, where this team seemed like they lost all their energy throughout the whole season, then just got it back in that instance with Gillespie ending the game for the Suns and Kevin Durant scoring, I think it was 7 buckets in the fourth quarter to get them that victory. Tonight, it kind of seemed like the same exact type of game, right? You got Gillespie early in the game. He didn't come back into the second half, but you got that fight to end the game. And the guy that stepped up was Devin Booker. Before we get into Devin Booker, I do have one question to ask to get off my chest.
Matthew, I've got to ask.
You know, after the last game, the Phoenix Suns in their victory, there was a post-game interview with Kevin Durant. He did mention, with the crowd, I don't really want to start out this way, but I just kind of want to bring it up because I want to get your guys' take because it's a good question. The way the crowd is now for the Phoenix Suns and the Footprint Center, they boo a lot. Booing is a huge thing here in Phoenix, kind of like the Philadelphia 76ers fans, kind of like what you might see in New York. If the Suns are not playing up to the par to which we think they can actually be, a team that actually can fight, can show something, some kind of energy. If they're out there just kind of dilly-dallying and they're just looking like they haven't played the game before, is it okay to boo? Are you guys okay with booing or not? Because Kevin Durant did say post-game, like, hey, can we chill out? Can we get rid of the boos? Can we just be done with that? We don't need that. Well, how's that supposed to help us as a team? That's what he says. And you know what? It probably doesn't help. But also, it's like, what else is a fan supposed to do? So I'm kind of caught in the middle. And I kind of want to know, Jamsters, before we get into the game highlights and just kind of a rundown of what happened in this really thrilling game against the Denver Nuggets, and of course, Jokic getting the NBA's first 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 20 assists game. We'll get into that. I just want to know, boo or no boo? I kind of want to see where you guys weigh on that situation, because right now I'm kind of just like, I don't know. I think the Suns fans, obviously, towards the rest of the season at home, will not really care to boo anymore because we're kind of just sick of it. We might just go to games just to have a beer and just poke fun at the other team or the Phoenix Suns. But there is still some fight in this team. There's still something there. So we already have a few comments here. Saul Soto says, the team deserves the boos. The lazy, undisciplined play is unacceptable. I totally agree with that, but I did ask a few people, and they're like, you know what? No, it's kind of rude to boo. I'm like, really? I kind of opened my mind. I'm like, maybe I'm wrong about this whole thing. Maybe we don't need a boo. Maybe there's another way to go about this, and I'm just totally wrong, because honestly, everything Kevin Durant says right now, I'm just like, I'm on the opposite end. But I kind of agree with him a little bit. But the fact is, this team has not shown anything where they've given a shit this season at times. And I think at those times, it's okay to boo. DWig24 says, Nobu, losing in OT to Jokic is nothing to slouch about. Exactly. I think I was talking about last game, just at home. The Suns fans, maybe they would boo in this game if we were playing at home, maybe in the third quarter when we're down by 21. But with the way the team actually rallied in this game, obviously we're not booing in this situation. So let's go through this game. The Denver Nuggets tonight, they came in, obviously one of the hotter teams out west, one of the better teams. And I think about since the All-Star break, they really kind of started out slow this season. They came back, had a huge last 10 to 15 games that got them back up in the standings. They're now third in the standings in the West, and they're going to probably end up in the second seed. I think the fact that they have Jokic out there who's just putting up insane stats, better stats than he's ever had in his career, an MVP candidate, of course, which I honestly kind of think he should get it now. He definitely is the MVP, I think, of the league. I like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's a guy that everyone could kind of, get behind. But also there's a lot of that he's foul baiting too much. Getting to the line, he's not fun to watch. Jokic, on the other hand, has been insane. A guy that has put up monster numbers. And like you saw tonight with the Denver Nuggets unable to really perform without him, he is the dude, because this Suns team came back in the fourth quarter, tied the game up. They had an opportunity to win this game, obviously, but the Nuggets hit the three to put them up by 3. Then Kevin Durant hit the huge 3 to tie the game to go overtime. And then you saw just Jokic just work his magic in overtime. But this game did start out kind of like they always do. The Nuggets, not really the best 3-point shooting team, hitting every 3 imaginable in the first half. I mean, it started out with Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon came back. He was, of course, on injury. He had an injury, and he came back just in time for the Phoenix Suns, a time where I think he maybe could have waited another game. Maybe just let us have this one. Let us get a 2-game win streak, because honestly, I don't know what it feels like to have a win streak, I think the Cavs right now have a 13-game win streak, but Aaron Gordon comes back just in time to face the Phoenix Suns. He hits his first 3 threes, and he obviously gets the Nuggets off to a hot start. Who hit 7 threes in the first quarter, and at this time, I'm like, okay, this is how the game's going to go. The Suns are going to be down by 20 here quickly, but you know what? They kind of held in there in the first half. The Nuggets were up 21-13 in the first, giving up those 3 threes to Aaron Gordon without a hand in his face. You kind of just saw the energy kind of drop from the Suns. Shoulder slouch a little bit, right? The energy wasn't there. But guess what? I think Devin Booker really got us back into this game. I think the fact that the Suns came in, just incredible energy to end the game last game, and then this game kind of started out this funk. You're kind of looking for Colin Gillespie, right? He was the guy that was kind of missing in the early part of this game, we think, as Suns fans. He's the reason for me that I wanted to turn on the TV and I wanted to see Colin. I'm going to call him Colin because I can't say Gillespie. It's just driving me nuts. I got the lisp in there and everything's just coming out. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to say Colin. Colin came out in the second quarter, played a few minutes, then was out instantly. He hit a wide open 3. They triple teamed Kevin Durant. He threw it cross court. Gillespie hit the 3. I'm like, oh, here we go again. But it just wasn't there, right? There's a few plays here and there. He seemed out of sync, got pulled, obviously did not finish the game. He played the 4 minutes, 42 seconds, and I don't believe he did play the second half. Let me just double check. He did not. Okay, I was right. I think that he gave us something last game, a spark, right? He has an edge to him. Now we're going to get into, do we need to play him consistently? Do we need to continue to put him into the game? I've always been high on him. I always thought he's deserved minutes. I've always liked the way he's handled himself, his manner on the floor. He's a guy you can definitely get behind. Just a straight face out there to do his job, not really paying too much attention to anything else going around him but what the team needs from him. He's a perfect guy to have out there handling the ball, keeping the dribble alive at times when in the paint, getting the right guy available, just doing the things that you know that a point guard should be doing. That's exactly what he was doing. Tonight, though, he wasn't there. He wasn't there, and it was kind of upsetting, but it was also kind of just one of those things you have to sit back and be like, well, is he going to be the difference maker every game? I don't think so. It'll be one of those things where he's just kind of in and out towards the end of the year. In an important game, I feel like maybe Bud doesn't trust him too much, obviously, with this offense, where he looked more hesitant tonight. So there's a lot of pressure on him now. Now that he stood out, everyone knows who he is. You listen to the No Dunks podcast, they're talking about him, the Suns' savior of the season. So he's obviously going to have a lot more eyes. How he's going to handle that, we'll see in games to come. But this guy, Devin Booker, definitely handled himself quite well tonight.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Big Dick Booker.
Devin Booker with 34 points tonight, 7 assists. But you know what it really was tonight? Those 3-point shots he hit in the fourth quarter, he drilled them. He was 3 for 4 in the fourth from 3, but he hit 2 in a row. Then he hit a third one that it was an and one, which basically, I don't know. I guess it was a foul, but that shot was insane. The way he was shooting those threes looked a little bit different. They looked a little bit more like JJ Redick, like just his movement on the form. It seemed a little bit different. Let me know in the chat if you've seen that too. There's a little bit more confidence in his shot from 3. But Devin Booker was unstoppable. He was the energy. He was the force behind this Suns run. At times, you thought it was over, but he kept bringing this team back into it. The last few games we watched, obviously last game, you can kind of tell that Booker still really cares. And I think that's always a weird thing to say as a fan, like, oh, who really cares out there anymore, right? They're obviously playing the game. They're going through the motions. You can kind of tell with body language who cares and who doesn't care. But if you were to actually ask like Kevin Durant, Royce O'Neal, Tyus Jones, like, do you guys even care? It doesn't look like you care. They would say, of course, yes, we do. Wouldn't they wouldn't be playing the game if they didn't care. But there's an edge that this team's needed. There's an edge that Devin Booker brought tonight that Colin Gillespie brought last game. It was an edge where when Booker is playing like that, everyone else feeds off of that. Defensively, offensively, everything's moving around. This team is absolutely hitting on all cylinders. But it also comes with this guy, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant tonight at times in the fourth quarter, where they are the best player out there at times. Until Jokic comes in and just proves like, hey, I'm the guy. I'm the 30-20-20 guy. What the hell is that? Are you serious? 30-20-20? Does it count in overtime? I don't know. But I'm going to say that it's pretty insane because it's the first time it's ever happened. But Booker tonight, at times, in certain stretches, he was the best player, unstoppable player. But it came really at the end of the game in the fourth quarter when Jokic was out, and we can really take advantage of this defense that the Nuggets have. And their offense, where they have a lot of lapses without Jokic. They have a hard time getting things going. You can't really get too confident if you're running that offense without Jokic. And you can definitely see that. And like I said before, you can see why he is the MVP. Booker, I don't think I've seen this yet this year. I've always complained about, hey, we don't have the best guy on the floor. We don't have the best 2 guys on the floor between Kevin Durant and Booker to end these games. That's always been the thing I've said. Tonight, and before I go into this, I did predict, if you read on Bright Side of the Sun, the preview for this game, I said the Suns would lose. It would be close, but there is going to be a lot of fight in this team and a lot of things to feed off of heading into the next few games, the rest of the year. There's going to be enough for us to be a little bit more excited because this team might pull together a better stretch to end the season, maybe make the playoffs, make the play-in, and just give us a little bit more hope going into the next season. And that's kind of what's happening right now. This team's turning around in a way where we're kind of believing in Devin Booker more. Bol Bol's kind of fallen off where we know he is. He's going to. Kevin Durant right now is stepping up at times. We'll get into him a little bit. But you can just see the difference in how good we can have it from Booker and KD. And they come back and they kill it. They hit the big shots, tie the game, go to overtime. But on the other side of the ball, it's just impossible to beat that other guy. It's a different kind of ball game when he's out there. And it's impossible to really handle him. And that's why you can't be down by 21 points. You could be at times and maybe pull this one out and win. but it's just always likely that guy in Jokic will come out and he'll end this game. And then any chances the Suns have to finish what I was hoping a 2-game win streak, maybe start a 2-game win streak, finishing this game with the victory, but it didn't happen. I give a lot of credit to Booker and everything he brought to Denver and him trying to get this team back on track. I'm not sure what's happening behind the scenes, obviously, but you did see a difference with Kevin Durant's shots and how he was not getting up enough of those shots, right?
Who the heck are you?
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
Did anybody see a sniper? Did anybody see anything?
I'm one of the best players to ever play the game.
Kevin Durant tonight was 20. He had 29 points, excuse me. But he only had 4 in the first quarter. He only really attempted, I think, about 10 field goal attempts by the third quarter. He just kind of was doing his own thing, and he was kind of off to the side a lot. I don't know if that's Coach Bud. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. But Durant is very efficient. He came in at huge times at the end of the game to really finish things off and get the Suns back into it. It was just a little different tonight where I don't think I've seen this yet, where he is kind of taking a step back and you can see that, Beal's playing the point at times, but you can just see how this is turning into Booker's team. Now, is he okay with it? I don't know. I think he's doing a hell of a job supporting his teammates and he's, getting up his shots when he can. But, even at the halftime report for ESPN, I don't know how much you believe in it, but Stephen A is like, just give that man the ball, just have him come back. Or have him come out in the second half and get this team back in the game. So Kevin Durant in the second half, he was 5 for 10 in field goal attempts, 13 points. The first half for him, he only had the 11 points, 4 for 5. So very efficient in the first half, the 11 points. It just seemed a little different, right? And I don't know what to make of it, but the Suns team right now is kind of going in different directions every game. They don't really have a true game plan that we're familiar with. So things just kind of keep changing, and I don't know what to really make of it, honestly. Kevin Durant, though, incredible way to come in and just, oh man, like at times, like I said, just like Devin Booker earlier, he can be the guy that can get the big shot, right? But then on the other side of the ball, you just know that Jokic is going to end it, and that's just a hard thing to deal with. Nick Richards, on the other hand, though, he did start this game very well for the Suns. He hit his first 3 shots, missed his 4th shot. But what the Suns were doing, like they were funneling the offense straight down to Nick Richards. And Richards was handling it the best he can. The only thing is, Richards, when receiving the ball in the paint on pick and rolls, having the option to kind of push it back out to the side, to the corner, for a corner 3. He missed a few options there. I'm not going to say that those guys are going to hit those shots, but when that's happening, when you have a guy in Richards who is building his confidence, becoming a better center game by game, scoring the 18 points tonight and only having the 5 rebounds, he's a guy that they're going to leave open. They're going to have him make the extra pass, have him make the decision to get the Suns in a comfortable spot to hit a good shot. He hasn't been obviously that guy ever. Not that I know with the Hornets, but as soon as with the Suns, like since he's been here, I've never noticed that. But you can see the Nuggets were letting him do that. But also, I don't know if that's part of the game plan either. But I even saw it in the first quarter. Booker, Kevin Durant, Beal were in the corner wide open. And when Richards had the ball, he had a hard time getting it out and just would not get it out. He would settle for the mid-range or maybe pass it back out to the point. And, there was nothing else that he could do with the ball right there. That's a spot where maybe you look at, hey, this Yusuf Nurkic, if he was back, obviously that's a guy that can probably make a quick pass just like that, right? But we don't have that right now. The Suns tonight, though, they had a lot of opportunities. Even with the Nuggets making 21 threes tonight, 13 in the first half, the Suns had big, wide open threes at the end of the game when they were down by 9 to cut it to obviously like a 3-point game or even a 1-point game when they're down by 7 at once. They missed those threes. They were still down by 7. Obviously, they end up tying it, but they had their opportunities tonight. They did. This was a well-fought game on all ends. I think defensively, obviously, is going to be an issue for the Suns, but just really, really trying to get this team back into games it's just a difficult watch at times because you know it's almost there. And you know in the back of the Suns' minds, they really know that they have to win almost literally every game to end the season. The schedule is really tough. But with the Mavericks kind of falling out of the standings, they have an opportunity here. So they know that. And that's why I predict, it'd be a close win, but they can build upon this loss, the effort that they put in, and just to see where it goes from here. Oops, I almost ended the stream. Let's see here if we have any comments. Matt Maravich, Miss DA. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I can't get behind that at all. I just can't, dude. I'm so sorry. Saul Soto, DA was my favorite player. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if I want to start talking about DeAndre. And obviously, I want to talk a little bit more about Jokic. I mean, his incredible game tonight. Let's just read the stat line: 31 points, 22 assists. It's career high in assists. 22 assists. I don't know. 21 rebounds. It hurts. I don't even know what to talk about with that. Incredible game by him, obviously. And I think the fact that there's no way of stopping it. You just got to let it happen. I hope the guy we make those threes and we can actually get this victory. It's a hard watch at times, but I want to get to a few things here too. Obviously, it won't be a long pod. Usually when we just have the single pods, it's not too long, but I did want to do a little bit of subreddit stakeout. But before I get to that, I want to talk about this guy.
Hi, Barbie.
Oh, hi, Alan.
Oh, Grayson Allen, our fortunate guy.
Yeah, that dunk in the fourth quarter was it's extremely raw, just disgusting dunk by Allen. The quick fake and getting to the rim. He did that a few times. He had it on that one that was called a foul, but might have just been a block. But Grayson Allen tonight, he had a little bit of a resurgence there in the fourth quarter. Tonight, his stats is 3 for 4, 11 points. He had the 5 free throw attempts, only made 3 of them. So you make those 2, we win the game. Thanks a lot, Grayson. I wanted to bring him up because Bill Simmons did have a draft on his podcast. I don't know if you guys listened to it, but the worst contracts draft. So, and Grayson Allen was in there. He was kind of in the middle rounds. He is making $70 million on 3 years. I don't think it's too bad, but obviously with Grayson Allen in the spot he is right now, coming off the bench, not getting too many minutes in the beginning of the year, having the baby being off and on, not really finding his spot and rhythm. It's just a tough spot for, I think, anybody from the outside looking and be like, yeah, I don't think he's worth it. I think the guy plays hard. I think defensively, when he comes in with Tyus Jones, it's a little tough to watch because Jokic and any team right now is going to hit the pick and roll and try to get those guys and just get them pinching up and just try to get them down to the rim and just kind of blow by them. That's exactly what's happening a lot of these times as I just hawk up that loogie. I think that, Grayson Allen and even Tyus Jones, when they come in together defensively, they're just a liability. I don't know how you fix that because right now Colin's not getting any minutes, especially in this game. And I think if you were actually to put in Colin at point guard, the effort there for a full court defense, it's something that you kind of hang your hat on if you want as a Suns fan. You want to feel comfortable with your point guard coming in to back up, the first unit of Bradley Beal and Devin Booker that can come in and play defense, get good looking shots because the team's going to leave him wide open if he's playing next to Kevin Durant. But right now you just get Tyus and Grayson Allen, who at times are just kind of scratching their heads trying to figure things out. Tyus Jones right now is absolutely having the worst time. He had a good game a few games ago, but he has not been the same guy, obviously, but you can just see he's in his head too much. He's not relaxed. He's not confident with a lot of the shit he's doing on the floor. He's not. And the fact that he can kind of get his floaters in there, it's nice at times, but even saw tonight when he had one play in the second quarter where he comes in, he has a pick and roll with Plumlee, and he actually goes up and does the floater with Michael Porter Jr. right next to him. And he knows, like, the guy is 7 feet tall almost. How is he going to get that up? Instead of throwing the lob to Plumlee, he goes in for the little floater and it gets blocked. So that's tough to watch, obviously, because this guy has a lot more to offer. Where he's at mentally, I think, is just really holding him back. It's holding a lot of these guys back. And I think right now the Devin Booker kind of resurgence, him getting, the stats. Look, we've had these games with Booker scoring 34 points. It hasn't looked like this. The 3-pointers were actually absolutely killer tonight, but his demeanor was a lot different. This guy looks like he wants to kind of get this team back on track. And I did promise some subreddit stakeout, so let's get that cooked up here.
The Suns Jam Session Subreddit Stakeout.
What did you say, Mom? Oh, yeah. No, I got 10 more minutes and I'll be done. Yeah, I'm living back in my mom's house now. All right. Subreddit stakeout. All right, so these ones are kind of funny. Obviously, Denver and the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns have a history, and we came out on the wrong side of it, like always. Someone did comment. Remember the guy passing out the money, counting the Giannis free throws, the seconds as he was shooting the free throws, like counting his money. Someone did post that picture of him counting his money and said, "Shake my head. I just now remembered it was a Suns game and I forgot to post this this full pregame. So it might be a ritual." The Nuggets have fun with the Suns. They do. And I don't blame them because we had the Suns and 4 guy who punched and knocked some guy out, and he was a legend there for a week, but then obviously things turned around and the Nuggets won a championship. Suns didn't. Oh gosh, what am I doing with my life? Back at my mom's house and doing a pod about the Suns. This is just miserable. All right. Next one is, I love ESPN halftime shows. My kitchen is always clean when the third quarter starts, which is funny because, yeah, it's kind of a garbage show. I'm sorry. Anything with Stephen A., I'm just going to say it. He sucks. He's not good. He's not genuine at all. He's fucking fake as hell. And I don't understand why anybody listens to him or Kendrick Perkins. It's so fucking weird. Like, just think about that. We actually listen to those guys live and respect them or something? I don't know. I know LeBron was talking crap to him on the court the other night, so I wonder what they did after. They probably went to dinner. Next comment is, y'all remember when Devin Booker started crying because he was getting double teamed in an open gym? They're bringing in everything, all the old wounds. Don't forget that Grayson Allen pisses his pants on purpose because he likes the warm, wet feeling between his legs. Someone says, it's kind of shocking how bad the Suns are. It is. But they do come back. But you know what? The Nuggets have been that team, though, too, where they let a lot of teams back into games. And it's due to the fact that they, like on the broadcast said, that they are the best plus-minus team, or second best in the league, with Jokic on the floor. Without, they have the second worst. So that is exactly why the Suns had a chance to come back into the game. I'm looking over here. I didn't move back in with my mom. I'm kidding. If you guys are out there and you're judging me right now, I didn't. I'm totally joking. Scott Foster's wife is an alpha. I don't want to read the rest of this. This is kind of nasty. All right, so we're done with subreddit right there.
The Suns Jam Session Subreddit Stakeout.
All right, guys. I'm here and I'm just chilling with you guys because I don't think I have too many more notes. I mean, we kind of just know how this thing went down, and I think we are 3 games back right now, or 2.5 still back of the Mavericks for the second. Or I'm sorry, jeez, I'm really tired tonight. I'm sorry, guys. Someone in the chat said, it's also too, I love Lone Wolf Mouthy, nothing but truth. I know, right? Nothing but truth. Let's see. Is there anybody else new in the chats? Maverick. Is it Maverick? You're new. How's it going, dude? DWig24. What up? You're here all the time, and I love it. I love all you guys are here. Here's someone. I've seen you before. Harlem Vega. Phoenix Suns for life. It's in my DNA. I know. Well, that's why I say trade everybody, except for Booker now. Let's see. Anybody else in here that's new? I swear, guys, what's going on? All right, Saul Soto's asks, what do you want to see going forward, Matthew? I don't know if I'm the biggest fan anymore of Bowl. I don't know what we're doing there. I mean, if you watch him standing in the corner and the fact that he's still hesitant on a lot of shots, that he's not the most confident guy, and when he's passing the ball out back to the perimeter to get it back to the point guard, he kind of looks like maybe he's still in second grade. And I don't know. I don't like it anymore. I think Nick Richards has been as good as he can be right now. He's playing his ass off. I think the fact that Tyus Jones, oh, hold on. Had to clear that one out. The fact that Tyus Jones is unplayable, Gillespie needs to just take his minutes. I don't care how sloppy it might be. I don't know how many times he might mess up, but we have a guy in Tyus who has lost it mentally. I don't know if he can get it back till he goes somewhere else next season, but we got to take our chances on Colin. We have to. And we have to make sure that these games like this, the right timeouts are called. The fact that Bud lets scores, just like Monty used to do, go up to 12 before he calls a timeout. A lead that goes to 12 by the Nuggets or the opposing team. I hate seeing that. And I don't want to see that anymore. I want to see good timeouts called. I want to see Bud put in Gillespie. That's what I want to see. Royce O'Neal. Does he go back in the starting lineup for Bull? Maybe. Because right now, I just don't trust the Bull thing at all. I get it. Like I said, put up with the mistakes from Colin. That's fine. And kind of move on. Put up with the mistakes from Bull. But the thing is, this guy has an opportunity really with the ball in his hands to do a lot of things. Pump fake, go to the rim. He has a jump shot. He has a lot of shit. The guy is not showing any more confidence. And he's had a lot of minutes. He's been given an opportunity here. I feel like going into the next game, he might not even be a starter. That's how quickly I feel like you have to shut this guy down right now. Next game, he'll probably have 18 points. I want to see what's going on with Kevin Durant and Booker. You know, this whole situation of whose team it is, obviously it's Booker's right now. On the outside looking in, there's going to be a lot of people talking about Kevin Durant. You know, where's he at? He should be the guy. He's the best player. I mean, let them have that talk. But right now, moving forward with this team, because we know this offseason is going to be a little bit rough with Durant, because leaks are that the Lakers, the Mavericks, other teams are interested in Kevin Durant, including Miami. You just know he's not going to be here probably. And I just want to see what we have from Devin Booker to end this season, how dominant he can be, and if he can push his team to show that he can be a slight number one or maybe a really great number two. I want to see that. Casey says, Suns need an NFL or NHL head coach. They are softer than chicken breath. Oh, cricket breath, dude. Oh, all right. I got to go to bed, dude. Yeah, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this actually real quick.
Jam star of the game.
Jam star goes to Devin Booker for sure. Obviously on the loss, and we've been through these losing streaks. You don't really want to pull these things out, these drops, but I'm going to have to give it to Devin Booker. I think he was incredible tonight. It's the old book, it seemed like to me, you know, and I think that's the one positive thing to really take from this game. Obviously the fight back, almost taking the victory. That was huge. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, listen to the pod on Spotify, anywhere you get your pods. We're obviously usually together. John is sick tonight, so he was unable to make it. I was sick last time, so I don't know what's going on this season, but we have been in and out of the pod, and I have been mostly. But we will get it back together for the next game. The next game is against the Bucks on Sunday, 12:30 tip-off, which is kind of nice. Just an early game. Have your coffee, and you can just enjoy the Suns put up a fight. We'll see what they can do against that Bucks team that has been playing really great lately, but also a team that if they go cold from the field, it's an opportunity for the Suns to maybe steal a victory. I doubt they will win, but I think it will be a close game still. I think the Suns are now a team that will fight for the rest of the year and have, a real purpose because of the Mavericks kind of falling out of the playoff race. So they got to take advantage of it. Whether they win or not, I don't know going forward, but I do think that they do have a chance in the next game, but I do predict a loss. So everybody, please like, subscribe, go ahead and smile. Give me a thumbs up, and I love you so much. Go home and love your family.
Hey, you're listening to the Suns Jam Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.